live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 6 starts now.
I don't think there's been a day that has gone by that we haven't thought of him.
More than 2 decades after his death, a highway is dedicated to the memory of a fallen Stateline hero. Family and friends reflect on the legacy he leaves behind. And a Chicago family narrowly avoids tragedy after a baby is nearly gunned down. The community responds to what they see as a change in the violence. Everybody was a little Irish for another day of celebration in downtown Rockford. We'll show you some of the sights and sounds of the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Good evening, I'm Marissa Lessner. Thanks for joining us this evening. A Roscoe native who gave the ultimate sacrifice while serving his nation in Iraq is honored 20 years later. A highway now bears his name. Nikel Delgado was at the ceremony and ribbon cutting. Nikel, tell us more.
Marissa, Brandon Rowe was killed in action on March 31st, 2003. He was just 20 years old. In his honor, a portion of Illinois Highway 251 in Roscoe has been renamed. It's now Brandon Rowe Memorial Highway.
Definitely a good thing that his name be put forth and be out there so that people can see and acknowledge and hopefully learn the fact that who he was.
Saturday, Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 2955 hosted a ceremony in honor of Army Specialist Brandon Rowe. Friends and family gathered together to show support. Some read letters about and from Brandon.
To listen to his letter that he wrote to his mom, it's funny because you can just hear his voice coming through.
Brandon's name will now live on as well, with a portion of Illinois Highway 251 being renamed as Brandon Rowe Memorial Highway.
Brandon's name's going to be up on that road for the next 20, 30 years. And I'm going to be real happy one day when my grandson asks me, who's Brandon Rowe? I'll be able to tell him who that person is.
Bill Graves, a senior vice commander of the VFW Post 2955. He says it's important for the community to recognize its heroes.
No matter how bad things seem, there's always something good you can pluck out of it, and that's something that Brandon taught me.
Known to be positive, funny, brave, kind-hearted, dedicated, and selfless, his friends tell me they strive to live up to his example.
Not a day that goes by, there's nothing that won't remind us of it, and never will forget them. It's part of us.
Brandon's friends and family tell me they have been waiting to show their appreciation of Brandon's service and to live on his memory. Marissa?
All right, thanks, Nikel. Beloit police investigate after a shooting and car crash sends 2 people to the hospital. Officers were called to Coley Road near Willowbrook Road around 3 this morning. There were reports of shots fired. A short time later, police were sent out to a crash about 3 miles away. The car was on fire. 2 people were found inside. One of those victims had been shot. The other was hurt in the crash. Both were taken to a local hospital and are expected to be okay. Investigators say the victims were targeted. If you have any information, call Beloit Police or Beloit Area Crime Stoppers. A baby is okay after being grazed by a bullet in Chicago. It happened around 7:15 last night on the city's northwest side. Police say the 1-year-old was in the back seat when someone opened fire on that car. The bullet grazed her head, but we're told that she is doing well. People in the neighborhood say it's not uncommon to hear gunshots, and it's gotten so bad they try not to go outside.
When you're dealing with the streets, it's more of like, before they would care if you were with your family or like you were with somebody who was younger, but now they just don't care no more.
No arrests have been made. Police say they're looking for a white SUV. Meanwhile, Chicago's mayor meets with her counterpart in New York, looking for ways to cut down on violence. Lori Lightfoot and Eric Adams are talking about ways to end violent crime. They didn't get into any specifics about their discussion, but they say this is a partnership. They want to see more programs that keep kids away from crime, specifically in Black and brown communities.
We've got to do more to make sure that we intervene in a proactive way to provide support and love to these young people at the earliest possible stage in life.
It's the combination of the prevention and intervention. We have to turn off the faucet that is continually feeding the river of violence in our cities.
Adams says he likes all the town hall meetings that Chicago hosts. He also wants to follow Chicago's lead in waiving college credit requirements for police officers to attract more minorities to apply. Rockford firefighters battle flames after a fire breaks out inside a vacant home. Crews were called to the home on Van Wee Avenue near North Main just after 4 this morning. Fire was found coming from a front window. It took about 10 minutes to get the flames under control. Luckily, no one was living inside. That home was boarded up. No one was hurt. Investigators are looking into what caused that fire. Damage is estimated at $20,000. The director of the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services is in legal trouble again. Mark Smith was in contempt for the 7th time in 10 weeks for failing to comply with a court order. A year ago, Smith was ordered to move a teen out of a temporary shelter to a placement to meet his needs. That still has yet to happen. Republican lawmakers in Springfield are pushing the governor's office to change that department quickly.
The governor came into office in May of 2019 and said that the state has failed these children and that it was going to stop right then and there. Here we are nearly 3 years later. There's been no new legislation that has addressed this, that has done anything to help save these children.
Starting in a week, the department will be fined $1,000 every day if that teenager is not placed in permanent housing. Downtown Rockford turned into a sea of green as hundreds took part in and watched the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. The weather wasn't the greatest, but it didn't stop the fun. From marching bands and traditional bagpipes filled the streets. Many Irish families also took part in the parade, along with local organizations like the Park District, and even Hammy the Ice Hog was there. For the kids watching, getting candy was their favorite part. This is hosted every year by the Irish Marching Society. The parade was originally scheduled for last weekend, but was delayed due to the cold weather. And it's a little cold still outside to take a dip in the pool, but apparently this deer did not get the memo. It wandered into an empty backyard pool in South Bend, Indiana, but then couldn't figure how to get out. Animal control tried coaxing it over to the steps, but that didn't work, so an officer ended up just picking up the deer and carrying it out. It ran away as soon as it was back on land. Welcome back. More than 3 million Ukrainian citizens have been forced to flee the country since Russia invaded its borders. More than 6 million others are displaced. Many people are without electricity, food, and their loved ones. So a downstate pastor decided to help. He left home and flew overseas. Scarlett O'Hara introduces us.
I was never scared. And I'm not a overly brave person, but the mission was more important than my own feelings.
Jeremy Dowdy says he felt compelled to help Ukrainian refugees. So when he got a call about bringing supplies to them in Poland, he booked a flight within a few short days.
I say it's an amazing trip because you see the heart of people.
He works with Compassion Services International, a nonprofit that offers education, medical help, disaster relief, and humanitarian aid worldwide. Earlier this month, he packed 2 suitcases full of flashlights and brought them to people who've been without power.
Most of the people who I talked to, the resilience and the resolve that they had was amazing.
One refugee's story stuck with him.
It was 5 o'clock in the morning on February 24th. She heard something and she looked at her husband and she said, "I think that's a bomb."
That woman was able to flee Ukraine early in the conflict. But not all people are that lucky. So Dowdy says it's important we do what we can to help get them resources or cross the border.
Those of us who are sitting in our warm homes and we're not carrying our bags and getting to a border and then now saying, who in the world do I know and where can I go? Since we're not doing that, we can help.
He's back in Illinois for now, but he's working to turn a hotel that shut down during the pandemic into a refugee center. If all goes to plan, 3 floors of that hotel could be open to 75 families leaving Ukraine. Then he'll be back in Poland to help on the ground again.
I think in times of crisis, we have an inner strength that we don't know that we have, but they're going to need help in the days and weeks and months to come. I hope we don't lose sight of how these people need us.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan WOLFE.
Well, with the rain finally moving out, we can actually check on some of those statistics with that rainfall. We did receive 0.62 inches from that system, just over a half an inch, but we're still just a little bit short on our monthly where we should be, and very short still for the year, nearly 2 inches short on our rainfall, what we should have by this time of year. That still leaves us in some drought conditions. Now, this was issued a few days ago, so a little bit of improvement is expected to that from the rainfall that we got yesterday. But really not very much is expected because we're actually looking at drier conditions after the second system works its way in. So right now we're actually seeing that first system working its way out through the rest of the day today, giving us actually some pretty clear skies on the back end of that. We're getting sunnier conditions as those rain showers are moving out. Here's a look at that wider system still spinning around, but that low pressure now well off to our east, leaving us just on the edge, giving us some sunshine there behind that. Now, these are our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera in Freeport. Very few clouds in the sky out there, very blue skies behind this system. So that just goes to show you the skies that we can expect here in Rockford over the next couple of hours. Temperatures, we can also see that system working its way out because we have temperatures in the 50s to the west. Temperatures still in the 40s the further east that we go, where we still have those cloud cover and even a couple rain showers still hanging around. We're getting actually pretty sunny conditions as well. Our weather watcher Mike just around Forreston reporting 48 degrees and originally overcast skies, but now reporting those clearer skies as that system works its way out. Now we take a look at Futurecast. We see the clouds beginning to work their way out and the rain showers associated with those as well. Getting clear skies for the night tonight. Temperatures, though, drop down under those clear skies all the way back down into the 30s. We hang on to those clear skies through the day tomorrow. Temperatures surge back up into the 60s for the first day of spring. We get some more cloud cover that returns back in for the day on Monday ahead of the next system that works its way in toward the back half of this week. Now we take a look at the jet stream. We'll see what's developing with that. The quick surge in the jet stream will give us a warm-up for Sunday and Monday, but then that trough, very big trough, will bring us the next system into the middle and the end of the week. We take a look at that system here. Still looks to be taking a pretty similar track to the one that we were just impacted by, giving us initially rain showers and then on the back end possibly some mixed precipitation possible with that as well. Our Climate Prediction Center outlook showing colder than average temperatures in the days that follow after the next week, and as well as below average precipitation. So as I mentioned earlier, those drought conditions may improve, but not really much because we're looking at drier conditions in the next 6 to 10 days. So back to tonight, temperatures down to 30 degrees. Now some fog is possible because of all the moisture that we have had with all the rain that we had yesterday. But tomorrow back up into the 60s for the first official day of spring, back up into the 60s, 62 degrees for our high temperature, warmer conditions for the next couple of days, and then that next system works its way in toward the back half of the week, and then we stay cool and dry heading into next weekend.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
James Robinson got his start in football playing several youth leagues in Rockford. Now he wants to help other Rockford youngsters develop their passion for football. Robinson, of course, is now an NFL running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but this is a photo of him back in his youth football days. Well, now he's starting up a youth football league through the Northwest Community Center in Rockford. It'll be called the James Robinson Foundation Youth Football League. It will be tackle football for kids 12 and under. And games will be played on Saturdays starting this fall with the Northwest Community Center field serving as the home field. Today, parents were able to begin signing up their children for the league at the community center. Robinson was not able to attend, but several of his family members were there. And they say Robinson is excited about giving kids in his hometown another opportunity.
He is so excited about it. We have been talking about it for a while, like a long while. It means the world to him to be able to give back to the kids and have that same thing that he had when he was growing up.
He's ready to give back. He wants the children to experience things that he's experienced and going through the process of just starting with giving back to them.
There will be another registration day for the James Robinson Foundation Football League next month. The exact date hasn't been determined yet. As for Robinson, well, he's about to enter his third season with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's coming off a torn Achilles injury that he suffered late last season. His mother says James's rehab is coming along well.
He is doing great. He's out of the boot. He's walking around. He's going to the stadium every day, rehabbing. He's able to, balance on it a lot better. He's doing good. His recovery is coming well.
That is great to hear. Well, the Packers are not letting cornerback Rasul Douglas get away. They've signed him to a 3-year, $21 million contract. Douglas led the team with 5 interceptions last season after getting picked up off the Cardinals practice squad. In the NCAA tournament, the big story of the day is number 1 seed Baylor got knocked off by number 8 seed North Carolina in overtime, 93-86. Tomorrow, the Fighting Illini will take the court 11:10 in the morning for their second round game against number 5 seed Houston. That'll be a tough one. The Badgers will take on number 11 seed Iowa State at 5:10 p.m. We have yet another local high school coaching change. John Rosado has resigned from his head coaching position with the Jefferson boys basketball team. Rosado was the Jayhawks head coach for 4 seasons. Their best season was in 2019-2020 when they won 26 games overall and went 14-4 in the Nick 10. Good for a second-place finish. Rosado tells me he wants to spend more time following and coaching his kids who are now into athletics. Anthony Cassiope has finished up at the NCAA wrestling tournament in Detroit. The Hononegah graduate finished in 7th place in the 285-pound weight class for the Iowa Hawkeyes. That was good enough to earn All-America honors for the 3rd straight year. The Cubs have added another candidate for the starting rotation. They've signed veteran Drew Smiley to a 1-year contract. Smiley won 11 games with the Braves last season, helping them win the World Series. On the ice this afternoon, the Blackhawks lost to the Wild 3-1. Seth Jones in the Blackhawks goal. Kevin Lankinen had 31 saves and allowed only 2 goals.
Well, first day of spring tomorrow, and looks like it's going to be a pretty nice day.
Definitely a good forecast for that first day of spring coming up. We'll have temperatures up into the 60s with sunny skies after the system works its way out. Still a few lingering rain showers, especially to the east, showing up on our First Warn interactive radar from Rockford, Otter Glass, and more. But those sunny skies for the day tomorrow, back temperatures into the 60s for the day on Monday as well. And that next system brings us some more rain toward the middle of the week and then dry into next weekend.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. We'll see you later tonight.